Okay. Take 4, Kelly ruined my daughter's life. Okay. Another undercover was sent in and cheated to befriend me. His name is Seth Breyer. He took me for lunch at Luna de Rosa and told me in Delray Beach and told me he worked with Rick Bradshaw on a rescue mission in the past. I had been informed by a couple of old friends at the Cheetah that there was an actual federal investigation of me. It's like, duh, at this point. And that they had been contacted by the sheriff's station. Finally, a clearer picture emerged, and I understood the head sheriff had been compromised, Rick Bradshaw, in this situation. Again, it was the same situation I had been dealing with for over 6 months. After a couple of months of working at the Cheetah, the club manager Julio and I got into a huge fight about the investigation by PBSO because they were attacking me at work. And I was fired subsequently. I put up ads on Craigslist and Backpage to advertise a bikini cleaning business. I got a call to clean a house in Woodfield Country Club. The next second, the client texted me and canceled. I called him and asked him why. He said that he had been called right after we hung up and that he had been warned not to allow me in his house because I was a thieving stripper. They didn't say they were the cops. They just totally made up lies, just to keep me out of, just freak people out. And not involve their names as being police officers. Okay, that's how disgusting this is. Every other appointment I made was canceled by the client after the police would call them and assassinate my reputation. I have video of these incidents. Growing increasingly alarmed and upset, I started emailing PBSO with my allegations against the sheriff's office. They attempted to ignore me. I then called the state attorney David Ehrenberg's office and left a message. This got the attention of internal investigations, and I was granted an interview to air my allegations with Detective Chapman. I went to the meeting with my friend Scott Brinkerhoff. I told Detective Chapman and his female partner what was going on. They called me crazy. They said it was all in my head and I had to go get a mental evaluation. Even after showing them my briefcase full of evidence. At this stage, I grew tired of the charade, and I told him I knew there was a legal investigation on me, and that PBSO knew as well, and that people had told me, and I demanded to know on what grounds that this was in any way legal. He would not answer the question, okay? I have emails. I worked as a housekeeper for a couple of weeks, and the harassing phone calls putting me out of work did stop temporarily. Okay, I got a new job at Rachel's Gentlemen's Club a couple of weeks ago. In the meantime, I have been working furiously to regain custody of my daughter. I got in touch with the head administrator at Franklin County's Family Services. Her name is Amber Stevens. I told her that my daughter had been taken on grounds that I was mentally unstable, but the fact was Family Services were working with the federal and state agencies to cover their crimes, and that my caseworker and her supervisor, Michael Schilling, knew from the beginning that I was under investigation and that the cops were heavily involved. Amber confronted Kelly and Michael, who told her the truth. I then saw some hope of having my daughter return and was finally sent a reunification plan after 6 months of my daughter being detained. I had court on custody of my daughter around February 20th. This is when I heard the trauma Eden had gone through that had caused her to have suicidal ideation and that she has now been diagnosed with a mental disorder of attachment disorder or adjustment disorder. Well, no wonder she's having an adjustment disorder. The cops blew apart everybody's life. So did the feds. You know what I mean? Like, my poor daughter. Anyways, my angst at this situation is profound. I was told by the judge in Franklin County, Ohio, Magistrate of Columbus, Ohio, Franklin County, Magistrate Stroud is the name of the judge, that I was not allowed to even speak to my daughter until I had a mental evaluation. Case worker Kelly Pruitt at Franklin County Family Services told me she would find me a doctor to go get the evaluation. She never did. I had to call DCF in West Palm and spent much time finding an appropriate location for the evaluation. I finally got the name of the Jerome Golden Center. I went 12 days ago and got the mental evaluation. I showed the therapist Donna my evidence and told her my situation, and she declared me sane and competent. I sent the mental evaluation to Franklin County Child Services and said, now let me speak to my daughter and please have the court case transferred from Ohio to Florida as Amber Stevens had promised. I got no answer for over a week. I wrote this about a week ago. Yesterday, Kelly Pruitt called me and told me there would be no transfer with a very circumspect excuse. I have the conversation on video. I have emailed Amber Stevens. She won't speak to me. I have called. I have emailed over 20 times. No one will get in touch with me, okay? Since I had the mental eval and I've